There is a moment, and you know this moment, when you wake up before the alarm, before the light, before the world has made a single demand of you, and the weight is already there. Not a weight you can name, not a weight you can lift by making coffee or scrolling your phone. It sits on your chest like a stone that has no origin, no logic. It is simply there, pressing, reminding you of every version of yourself you are not proud of. And somewhere underneath that weight, a voice speaks, quiet but cruel. It says, God is for the good people. God is for the ones who have their lives together. God looks at you, at your history, your patterns, your private failures, and he keeps a careful, holy distance. I am here to tell you that voice is lying. Today, I am going to walk you through the actual documented choices of Jesus Christ, who he chose, who he sat with, who he shielded. And by the time we reach the end, you will understand what that stone on your chest really is. Stay with me. Every word of this was written for you. The truth. The most radical thing Jesus ever did was not walk on water. It was pull up a chair. In first-century Jewish Palestine, the table was not merely furniture. The table was a declaration. Who you shared a meal with announced to everyone watching exactly who you valued and who you were willing to be publicly associated with. The religious establishment understood this perfectly, which is precisely why what Jesus did next shook them to their foundation. Biblical storytelling. Picture Capernaum on an ordinary afternoon. Narrow streets, the noise of a market, dust and heat in the air. And at a tax collector's booth, set slightly apart, the way something shameful is always set slightly apart, sits a man named Matthew. Matthew is despised with the specific contempt reserved for betrayers. A Jew who collects Rome's taxes from his own people. His neighbors look away when they pass him. Children have been taught not to speak to him. But here is what the crowd does not see. Behind that booth, Matthew is a man who has not been chosen by anyone in a very long time. A man who has perhaps forgotten what it feels like to be looked at with anything other than contempt. A man sitting in the middle of a crowd, completely alone. And then Jesus walks past. He does not slow out of politeness and speed up again, the way we all do when we see someone uncomfortable. He stops. He looks directly at Matthew, not past him, not through him. And he says two words with the full weight of a decision already made. Follow me. Matthew stands, leaves the coins on the table, follows. That evening, Matthew fills his home with every outcast the city owns. Other tax collectors, people of questionable reputation, the ones whose names respectable families do not say at dinner. And Jesus walks in, sits down, eats, laughs, stays. The Pharisees watch from outside. Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners? Personal application. Jesus was not tolerating Matthew from a gracious distance. He chose him. He celebrated him. He feasted with him in a house full of people the world had already filed under hopeless. What is the thing about your story you have decided disqualifies you from his nearness? Maybe it is who you are after midnight, when the thoughts spiral in a direction you would never admit to anyone. Maybe it is the private failure you have carried for years like a hidden debt. Maybe it is simply the creeping suspicion that everyone else received an invitation to belong, and yours got lost somewhere along the way. Jesus already knows, and he already chose. He is not at the respectable table waiting for you to clean yourself up. He walked into Matthew's house. He will walk into yours. But what he does next will not just surprise you, it will dismantle the deepest lie you have believed about how close God is willing to come to the parts of you that feel most broken and most hidden. The truth. Jesus never kept his holiness behind a barrier. He pressed it, deliberately, tenderly, into the most broken places he could find. There is a quiet, devastating belief that has settled into many hearts, perhaps into yours, that says you must present a cleaned-up version of yourself before God will draw near. That his holiness requires your tidiness before his grace can reach you. Jesus dismantled that belief, not with an argument, with his hands. Biblical storytelling. On a road in Galilee, a man moves at the outer edge of the crowd, calling out the word that announced his condition so others could step away in time. Unclean. Unclean. He has leprosy. He has not felt the warmth of another human hand in years, perhaps in a decade. Even those who pitied him expressed it from a safe and respectable distance. He is not just physically isolated. He is one of the loneliest human beings alive. He sees Jesus. Something fractures open inside him, a desperate, reckless hope. And he falls to his knees. Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. The crowd holds its breath. This is the moment most teachers would offer healing from a careful, dignified remove. A word from a distance, a gesture, something holy but safe. Jesus reaches out his hand. He touches him. Before a single word of healing is spoken, the touch comes first, the belonging before the becoming. I am willing. Be clean. Personal application. The order of that sequence carries the entire message, and I need you to feel it. The touch came before the healing. This means God does not extend his hand once you have fixed yourself. He extends his hand in order to fix you. His reaching is not the reward for your recovery. It is the very beginning of it. Think about the thing you carry right now that makes you feel set apart from everyone else. Not the surface stress, not the difficult email you have been avoiding or the pressure building at work. I mean the thing underneath all of that. The wound you keep wrapped in silence rather than bringing into the light. The part of your story you have never once brought into prayer. Because somewhere deep down, you fear that if you name it before God, he will take a careful step back. He is not stepping back. He is the God who reached out first, before the healing, before the change, before you had anything to offer but your need. And he is reaching toward that exact place in you right now, saying with quiet and absolute authority, I am willing. You do not need to earn the touch. You only need to stop pulling away from it. But there is something even more personal waiting ahead. Because this same God, who reaches into the places we consider unreachable, also does something that will silence forever the whisper telling you that you are just one face in a crowd he cannot quite remember. The truth. Jesus did not love people in general. He loved specific people, by name, in their specific shame. It is one thing to believe in a God who loves humanity as a vast, beautiful concept. It is an entirely different, life-altering thing to believe in a God who knows your name, who sees your face in the crowd, who stops, specifically, deliberately, for you. Biblical storytelling. Jericho. Jesus is passing through and the streets are overflowing, everyone pressing forward, hoping for a moment of his attention. Up in a sycamore tree, clinging to branches like a man who knows the crowd will never part for him, is Zacchaeus, the chief tax collector. The community has a unanimous opinion of him, and it is not charitable. He climbs the tree because he wants to see Jesus, and the crowd will not give him space. They probably enjoyed that, watching him scramble up into the branches like someone who has no right to stand at ground level with everyone else. Jesus walks beneath that tree, and he stops. He looks up and says his name, Zacchaeus. Not you up there. His name, specific, known, said aloud in front of everyone who had used that name as a shorthand for corruption and shame. Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today. The crowd mutters, he is gone to be the guest of a sinner. But Zacchaeus comes down overjoyed. And that evening, something happens that years of religion had never once produced. He repents, freely, fully, without a single word of pressure from Jesus. Half of everything I own, to the poor. If I have cheated anyone, 4 times back. Jesus' presence did not demand his transformation. It simply made transformation the most natural response in the world. Personal application. Your name is known to him, not the composed, capable version of you. Your real name, the one attached to your real history, the one that carries the weight of every chapter you wish you could rewrite. You might be on your lunch break right now, eating alone. You might be in a room full of people and feeling completely invisible. You might be lying in bed tonight, scrolling through other people's lives and wondering quietly if yours matters to anyone, let alone to God. But Jesus walked past an entire crowd to stop under one tree, and he said one name. He is saying yours. If that truth is landing somewhere real in your spirit, type in the comments right now. He knows my name. Send that out into the world today. Someone is scrolling tonight in the dark, carrying their own stone, and they need to see those 4 words. But what comes next will take everything you just felt and go somewhere deeper still, to the moment when Jesus did not just know someone's name, but stepped in front of everything being aimed at them, at enormous personal cost, so they did not have to face it alone. The truth. Jesus did not merely welcome broken people from a safe distance. He stood between them and everything being thrown at them. If you truly grasp this, not just in your mind but deep in the bones of you, you will never again be able to believe that God watches your most exposing, most painful moments from somewhere distant and unmoved. Biblical storytelling, the temple courts, Jerusalem, soft morning light. Jesus' teaching, people gathered close, hungry for every word. Then, a disturbance. The scribes and Pharisees bring a woman before the crowd and place her at the center of the circle, exposed, alone, with nowhere to hide, and no one in that space on her side. Teacher, this woman was caught in the very act of adultery. The law of Moses commands us to stone her. What do you say? She can hear the accusation echoing off the temple walls. She is not a theological question to them. She is a trap. And she is the bait. Jesus bends down, writes in the dust with his finger, unhurried, calm, as though he carries all the peace in the universe inside him. Then he stands. Let the one among you who is without sin cast the first stone. One by one, beginning with the oldest, they leave. The accusers disappear into the crowd until there is only her and him. Woman, where are your accusers? Has no one condemned you? No one, Lord. Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. Personal application. The religious system wanted to use her wound as a weapon. Jesus stepped into the circle and made his authority her shelter. And I need you to hear this. Slowly, all the way down to wherever you keep the things you never say out loud. Every accusation ever aimed at you. The voice that replays your worst moments at 2 a.m. when the room is dark and quiet. The low, persistent whisper that says you are too broken to be loved, too far gone to be helped, too damaged to deserve defending. Every one of those is a stone. And Jesus is in the circle with you, not watching from a careful distance. He is in front of you, between you and every accusation, calm, immovable, writing something in the dust that no condemning voice in your head or in your past has ever been able to answer. He is not ashamed of the chapter that brought you here. He is present in this circle, standing between you and everything that was aimed at you, with the full and unshakable authority of his name. And now, in the final truth, everything we have walked through together is going to arrive at the one revelation that makes sense of all of it. The reason Jesus was always drawn to the broken was never accidental. It was the entire point, and that point has your name on it. The truth. Jesus did not stumble into the company of broken people. He came for them. He came as the answer to them. He came because of them. He said it himself, plainly, without metaphor. It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners. Mark 2:17. He was not being modest. He was stating his purpose, and his purpose has a face. It has your face. Biblical storytelling, Luke 15. The Pharisees grumble, "This man welcomes sinners." And Jesus answers with 3 stories, each one burning brighter than the last. A shepherd leaves 99 sheep to find the one that wandered. A woman sweeps her entire house for one lost coin. And a father watches the road every single day for a son who took his inheritance, left home, and spent everything, who comes to himself in a distant country and begins the long walk back, rehearsing an apology the whole way, talking himself down to the lowest possible ask, "Make me one of your hired servants." But the father sees him while he is still far off, and he runs. In the ancient world, a man of his standing did not run in public. It was beneath him. The robes would lift. The neighbors would stare. It simply was not done. But this father runs, before the apology is delivered, before any proof of change, before a single condition is named. He wraps his arms around his son, covering everything, the long journey, the wrong choices, the wasted years, and calls for a celebration. This son of mine was lost and is found, was dead and is alive again. Personal application. You are the one lost sheep. You are the coin found by hands that would not rest until the searching was done. You are the son who rehearsed the speech all the way home and never got to finish it because the father was already running. And I need you to let this go all the way down, past the part of you that is nodding along, into the part of you that still quietly believes you have used up your welcome. The Father is not standing at the door with his arms crossed, reviewing your recent record before deciding whether to let you back in. He is not waiting for you to arrive at a worthiness you can never manufacture on your own. He saw you while you were still far off. He is already running. Not after you fix the thing you are most ashamed of. Not after 30 days of getting it right. Not after you become the version of yourself you think God would prefer. Right now, exactly as you are, exactly where you are. He is running toward you with a love so determined, it does not wait for your arrival. You are not too far gone. You were never too far gone. You are the reason he came. Before we close, I want to pray with you, wherever you are right now, in your car, at your desk, lying in bed with your phone in the dark. Close your eyes for just a moment. Father, thank you that your Son did not come for the polished or the perfect. He came for the weary. He came for the wandering. He came for the one who woke up this morning with that stone on their chest before the alarm even sounded. Right now, I pray for every person hearing these words. For the one carrying anxiety they cannot explain. For the one sitting with a loneliness that has gone on too long. For the one who has silently believed for years that they are too far outside your reach to be worth running toward. Let the weight lift. Let your hand, already extended, already reaching, be felt in the deepest and most offended part of who they are. Not because they earned it, simply because they are yours and you have never once stopped moving toward them. Let them rise from this moment lighter than they sat down. In the name of Jesus, amen. Do you remember that weight from this morning? Before the alarm, before the light, that stone pressing down in the silence before the day began? That was never a stone. That was the sound of the Father's feet on the road, running toward you before you even opened your eyes. If this carried you somewhere real today, subscribe to Walk with Christ, your daily reminder that you are known, pursued, and never, never alone.